Lakers in one of the most exciting games of the year, win their 8th straight game, an absolute war with the New York Knicks. They found themselves down 13 for a lot of that third quarter. And guys, watching that game in the third and even into the fourth, they kept chipping away. And every time they get close, the Knicks would go on a 4-0 run and get it back up to 8 or 10. But the Lakers just fought, played defense, tightened it up, James. Huge threes by Gabe down the stretch. He hit 3 of them in the fourth quarter. And Luka was fantastic. And then in OT, LeBron, big, 4 for 4 down the stretch from the free throw line.
Yeah, man, I'm going to sound like Oprah tonight. Everybody do the worthy clap tonight. Everybody send in the worthy clap. That was a worthy clap game right there for sure from the beginning. The Knicks, a tough team, well coached, came in. I thought Anunoby took over in the first half. He's hitting a lot of threes and big buckets. They had the lead up to 10, and it just looked like the Lakers couldn't hit anything. No threes, couldn't get a rhythm going, but if there's any word that, describes tonight's game, it's the grind. It was pure grind and hustle, going up against a tough Knick team. You're right, Gabe's big shots tonight. I'll let Allie run that down because she's the computer with tennis shoes tonight. But anyway, just a great game. A great game. Luka, not shooting the ball well at first, continued to do his thing and hit some big shots to kind of engage the rest of the game. And then LeBron hitting some big shots when they needed to come back. And Allie, I have to say that this is a great comeback game and a great game to win before you go on the road.
Indeed. I just think of resilient, determination, focused, especially from the Lakers. Obviously, we heard JJ say in that interview going into the fourth that the energy, the effort level, the shot making that we've been accustomed to over the last several weeks wasn't exactly where we're used to it in that first half. But he preaches his message, and you see a different kind of life that the Lakers brought out in the second half. I just think, all in all, when you talk about grinding it out, a gritty, a tough approach and win, your stars are going to do what your stars are going to do more times than not, especially in the big games. But who can step up? Who of your others can hit the shots, can get the timely stops? You think of, obviously, the final possession down or tie game with 9 seconds to go. Jalen Brunson, you heard Candace Parker say on the broadcast, anybody but Brunson. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
But, right, you get the stop, the necessary stop. And then Gabe Vincent, as you mentioned, I had to look it up right away. 4 of 25 over his last 5 from 3. He was 0 for 6 versus the Pelicans on Tuesday. This is the Gabe that we've been talking about. It's the one we've also seen over the last couple of weeks. But to just step in with such poise and a presence about himself, purpose down the stretch, the shot making, the defense, the toughness from him, I thought was the difference for the Lakers.
JJ pulling all the right strings. AR was struggling. Goes with Gabe down the stretch of the fourth quarter. Goes back to AR in overtime. Austin has that big steal and the big 3. The Lakers now have 40 wins. They're 19 games over 500. They have the 4th best record in the league, and they are 20-4 in their last 24 games. And by the way, 6-0 on the homestand. The Lakers, James, you said it as we went to that Jackson Hayes interview. And by the way, he was fantastic. A couple of extra possessions were huge down the stretch when he got that loose ball that ended up in Gabe's hands for a 3, which was gigantic. By committee for sure, but let's focus on Luka a little bit, guys. When you look, and we just showed this graphic a moment ago, when you look at Luka and LeBron, we talked so much about their chemistry and what it's done for LeBron James and just his ability to play off ball. We watched his catch and shoot threes tonight with Luka with dropping dimes. They combined for 63 points, 19 rebounds, and 20 assists, and that just seems to be the ongoing theme. Big Game, you talked about Luka, just his ability to start the game and get the crowd engaged, and the way he handled the beginning of that overtime when the Lakers had new life with the step back fall away on Cat and then getting the ball in that left wing and hitting a 3, 5 straight points, the emotion that he shows, and then LeBron finishing with the rebounding and then the free throws. It's just awesome to see these two together.
Yeah, I mean, Luka started out, not hot hitting shots. He was a little off, only 9 of 23 tonight. But that usually would shake players up, if you're not hitting your shots at the beginning, things are struggling a little bit, not getting the calls you want. But he never gives up, man. In that overtime, Geeta, he just, hit some big shots, some big tough shots over Towns, too. They tried to put a size on him.
Yeah.
He also continued to get into the paint and, distribute from there. It was a grind, but his ability to be in the moment, most guys not having a good shooting night, they might try to pass or get to the free throw line or get a layup. Not this guy. He's relentlessly looking for the big moments, and in that overtime, he started something and finished.
Listen, we've seen it at Crypto.com Arena when he wore a Mavs uniform with a step-back three. We've seen it against Rudy Gobert last year in the Western Conference Finals when he hits that deep rainbow three on the step-back. Tonight, he had that opportunity against Cat on that left wing where he loves to hit that shot, and there was nothing but net. Allie, these guys back-to-back games over 30 as well, and the efficiency with which they're doing it is also really impressive.
Again, I go back to what we were talking about in the pregame. It's actually very impressive to me of how well they've been able to make this transition to play alongside one another very seamless. It's as if they don't even think about it. And I think obviously LeBron has seen and been a part of so many things here throughout his 22-year career. And you hear him when he says he's a guy that's very adaptable. He's also played alongside attack guards throughout his career. Obviously, Kyrie Irving, guys like Dwayne Wade. Having said that, the other point that I think should be made about Luka Doncic is he's 26 years old. He's done exactly what he's done. We all know him as a generational talent. But to walk into this franchise and be told that we need the ball in your hands and not look back, not look over his shoulder, not second-guess his moves, not second-guess his decision-making, continuing to shoot the high-volume threes and not think twice about it, understanding the way in which he can impact if the shot isn't falling. I mean, that right there is just a 1-2 punch that more times than not really seems unstoppable. And I think that they've just done it and they've been able to get to it at such a high level and such a quick pace. You look at the most 10 games here from Luka Doncic. They were just telling me in my ear that we were going to look at this, 5th most in NBA history. He just turned 26.
Literally the other day.
I can't believe that we actually get to sit here and talk.
I mean, they even said it on the
him.
broadcast. They were talking about it, Candace, like, can't believe Luka's a Laker. I mean, we've said it a bunch of times.
How many
I don't know
times
how many
did they say it on the
times
broadcast?
your friends have said it. Yeah, I mean, it's been super fun. I want to give, before we get to the highlights, I want to give the bench some love. 32-14. Dalton Connect, you forget that he gave some great minutes because he wasn't playing down the stretch there, but he got some great minutes in there, 22, where he had 11 points, hit 3 threes, and then Gabe as well with the 12. Even Vando playing, I know it's only 17 minutes, but 5 rebounds and tough defense, and then Jemison was 7, right? So they're finding ways, different ways, to stay in the game, James, when they were 4 for 25 from 3. And they were down 10 points. They were staying in it because of their defense, because of their bench, and because they had the ability to kind of keep it close. And we knew if they just hit a couple shots, we said it when we were watching the game, just hit a couple threes, and you're right back in this thing.
And in the past, we didn't have that kind of production from our bench. We didn't even have a big-time competitive bench. We had guys that would move in. Some guys would start because if there was an injury. We really didn't have that consistency. Now, we have a competitive bench. Whether they're scoring a lot of points or not, which, lately they've been getting 30-plus points. I think one game or two they had plus 40. They are competing, and I love what Vanderbilt said in the pregame show. He says, look, we get together before the game.